Hello everyone, my name is Master Jimmy. Welcome to this video where I'm going to be ranking every Batman Arkham boss fight. And I have to screen record it using an app because my phone doesn't have that. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I know it's been a while since I made a video, a few months, but we're just going to be ranking. I was going to leave that up there. Okay, so to start, we have all these bosses. Well, not bosses because they're not boss fights. And what I mean is, they don't have health bars. So if it doesn't have like a proper boss health bar, or if it's like, where is it? Scarecrow. Here, it. I love the Scarecrow sections in Arkham Asylum, but it's not a boss. It's mainly like a jumping area where you're moving along an obstacle course, and then you fight some normal enemies. Or Killer Croc from Asylum, which is, it's not a boss, you're just running from him, but it is a very good encounter. So we will start the list and we'll put Titan, Joker. It's gonna be kind of hard to move all these up. We're gonna put him in not very good or mm, bad, I'd say. 'Cause it's a pretty boring boss. You don't really fight him. You just need to pull him down and you punch him in the face while you fight his enemies. You fight his goons in between. And all he does is he just does some like when he is down in the arena, he's like running after you, and then he just leaves and says he's softened you up, even though he probably hasn't hit you, and he like waves at Jack Ryder. And that's all he does. He goes down. You've seen it do that 3 times of pulling him down. So next we have Bane from Arkham Asylum. I'm gonna put Bane in not very good, or no, I'll put him in. I don't think it's bad. I'll put him not very good. I think I'll put Bane below Joker, maybe because it's kind of just a worse. Bane's just like a pretty simplified version of the Titan fights, and I don't think it's as fun. It's first boss in the game, but it's just kind of there. He's just normal Titan kind of boss fight. Don't think it's as good as the other one though. It's the actual Titan boss fights. And we have the first Titan boss fight I was just talking about. Uh, where is this gone? It's here. Okay. I. Where do I keep this? Okay, it's there. Yeah. I think I'm gonna put it in pretty good. A lot of people hate the Titan boss fights, but there's only 3 of them, and they're all pretty fun. I think. I don't think they're that bad. I think it's the second best Titan boss fight because it doesn't have any enemies, and it's just 2 of them, and it's not. It's pretty good. It's a nice introduction uh, to the Titans. You're just fighting 2 of them, and you can ram them into each other. So I think it's pretty good. I might change the list at the end and put change some of the spots, but this is how it's gonna be for now. Then we have the second Titan boss fight in Arkham Asylum, which is my favorite Titan boss fight. I think it's fun. You're in very enclosed space. There's only one Titan this time, but there are lots of enemies. So you have to deal with that now. So it's like the first one has no enemies, 2 Titans. This one has one Titan, but lots of enemies. And you can also put the Titan to the electric gates. And yeah, I think it's pretty good. I like it. So I'm going to put it above the first Titan boss fight. Then we have Poison Ivy, which I mean it's okay, but it can be really annoying, like especially when she does that attack where she shoots all the balls at once, because it's kind of like the way you dodge it is you kind of need to run. There's no like kind of proper pattern to it because if you jump to the left, since it's like a spread of them, it'll hit you on the left side. So you kind of just need to. What I usually do is I just run to the other side. But it can be kind of annoying. Like also the routes she sends up, like, you can dodge them, but they'll still get you somehow. But it's not that bad. So I'll put it in pretty good. Put it there. I think it's better than the first Titan boss fight. Then we have the last Titan boss fight, and I think it's the worst of Titan fights. I don't know. Whenever I play Asylum, I find this one to just be most annoying. I don't know what's up with it, but it just maybe it's the enemies and the two Titans, but some it just feels weird whenever I do it. I still think it's a good fight, but it's not as good as the other Titans. Still gonna put it in pretty good. And then that is the end of Asylum. So we'll move on to City with Solomon Grundy. And I think it's a very good fight, but my problem with it is it's like you're just you need to hit him on three times on the like the flame the vents on the floor. But what I don't understand is his health like goes up, but it doesn't mean anything because you've seen it explode three times. And it's kind of just an like a little gripe, but I don't really understand why it does that. And does the maggots or his attacks? I feel like I destroy the maggots, but they always just get to the end. His attacks are kind of annoying, and like they're pretty hard to dodge. And but I think it's very fun. It's it's not that hard, and I like how he has three phases. I like how he grabs you in the last phase. He's like he has a he's stuck to the electric box. But I'm gonna put in a lot of fun. Maybe I should add another tier. Oh no, I think it's fine. I think I'll just keep it like this. But I do think it's a good boss fight. Yeah. Anything else to say about it? Uh, no, I think it's well, yeah, that's enough. Okay, so Ra's al Ghul. I really like this boss. I think it's very good. I love all parts of it. I love my favorite part is when you're actually doing like boss damage. And even though when you're like fighting the enemies, technically there's no help bar and the boss isn't there, I'm still gonna count that because it's like part of the boss fight. It's the whole arena, and you're like fighting enemies in between. And I think it's very good. So I'm gonna put it in amazing. One of my only problems with it is his attacks. I think especially his shuriken attack. It's like really hard to dodge. Like even though you dodge it, it's really hard to like guess where it's gonna be. And I don't know. It's kind of aimbots him. He just throws like three shurikens, and it can be kind of annoying. But besides that, I think it's a really good boss. And I really like doing it. Now I accidentally moved Bane up, so I'm just gonna put him back here, uh, where he was supposed to be here I guess. If we're going chronological events, I know Titan Joker's first, but that was just a mistake. Mr. Freeze. Now, probably most people won't agree with me, but I don't think it's the best boss. I don't think I'd put it in best of the best. And my problem with it is I've played City so many times, so it feels kind of repetitive. It's always like the same things. I started like to silent takedown, do the electric trap, do the electric water trap. It's not very like it doesn't really push my skill limit or anything. It's just like when I did a New Game Plus, what my problem was you have to do like all the attacks on him. What my problem is the line or not the line or what? No, that one's pretty easy, but sometimes the when you have to do the attack from above through the glass ceiling, that doesn't really work. He like never walks under it. It can be kind of hard to bait him into like the explosive gel wall. But I think it's one of the best boss fights. I still think it's one of the best. But I just think that you're doing the same thing if you play the game again, and when I was playing a New Game Plus, it wasn't hard. It just took a long time because the attacks I had to try and set it up for so long. And he wasn't doing damage, but I was just walking around for ages. But I still think it's very amazing. That's what's in the amazing tier. It's probably going to stay at the top of amazing. What's next? Clayface. I'd say it's the best boss from City. I really like Clayface. I'd probably put him in best to best because I love the first section. I love the first two sections. You know, he's rolling around. He has the freeze blast, which is one of my favorite gadgets. Probably top three favorite gadgets in all of it. Well, actually, I think the glue grenade's better, but that's a different story. But it's very good. It's fun. It's simple. You're just throwing the glue grenades or dodging his attacks, and there's a pattern to his attacks, and I like that. They're not too hard to dodge. You can you learn it pretty fast, so that's good. But my favorite part is the last part where you're fighting all the Clayface minions, and you're using the sword, and you have to wait for him to like open his mouth while he shoots the blast out. And I saw it on ranking video before that the person said that they actually didn't like that part, which it's my favorite part because it's unique. It's like completely different from the rest of the boss, and kind of anything else you'd see in any of the Arkham games. And I really like it, so yeah, I'm gonna put it in best of best. And it is a good, very good, story and conclusion to Arkham City. So it's very good. Next we have Two-Face, and uh, it's kind of I don't know. I'm gonna put it in pretty good. Probably probably the bottom are pretty good because it's I don't know. It's the way both the Harley Quinn boss fight in City as well as like this, but I think that's a little better. I'll explain why in a second. Uh, every time I do it, I kind of just have a pattern, or like where I attack him once, he drops down, use the smoke. It's kind of just a cycle where you just beat him down, and then you have to hope that loads of enemies don't come and start shooting you. And you only need you do it 4 times, but it's annoying how he has like the rocket launcher that tracks. And even though he doesn't properly see you, he can like see you. Like even when he's knocked down, he knows that you're on the gargoyles. That can be kind of annoying. And the way the enemies, I mean, they respawn. Well, that's not a bad part. But what I've been doing now is it makes it a lot easier. I just take down all the enemies first, without them noticing me, because then I can just do the beatdown on him, and he can't call it any. Well, he can, but it takes a while for them to come in. So that's probably the easiest way to do it. But it's a good, decent boss fight. But it could be better. And next would be Harley Quinn from Harley Quinn's Revenge, and I do think it's better than Two-Face. And also just in the tier list, they used a picture from the Mechanical Guardian bot like fight at the end of Harley Quinn's Revenge instead of from the boss fight. But I'm just gonna, they're probably talking. The tier list creator was probably talking about the Harley Quinn stealth boss fight before that. But it's very similar to Two-Face, but the thing I like about it more is I like the arena more. And sorry, I had an interruption there, but what I was saying was I like the arena more. It's more spacious, and there's more like it's easier since you're Robin. Robin's better character to play as Catwoman, much better gadgets, and he has a smoke grenade. What I usually do is just take out all the enemies and just beat down on Harley Quinn. Same with Two-Face. What you can also do is you take out Sniper, go straight for Harley, throw a smoke down, beat her in while she's in smoke. You hit smoke canister with your batarang. That's hit her again. That's 3/4 of her health gone. Then just do one more, and the boss. Well, she doesn't go straight away, but you can climb down and do a ledge takedown, which means she'll be gone. And you to take out the rest of the enemies. But I think it's just a little bit better than Two Face. Actually, I'd put it above. I put it there. Put it above that. I think it's better than the final Titan fight as well. But it's a decent boss fight, and I like doing it. So yeah. Now we're done with City. Now on to Arkham Origins, which is the best boss fights out of the series. Silent atmosphere, Origins boss, City story, night gameplay. If you've ever seen that chart, I guess it's a pretty common meme if you're in the subreddit, but it's also just people always say that Arkham Origins best boss fights, which is true. Uh, and I put Killer Croc. It's the first boss in Origins. You do it like at the very start of the game, first section. But I think it's good. It's a good starter boss. It's pretty simple. You just wait for him to pick up the canisters, throw a batarang, and then that's like a quarter of his health gone. And it's pretty simple, but it's good. It's nothing wrong with it. Just it's good boss fight, and I like the part where he's trying to eat you, obviously, because it's you have to mash the button. But it's just good, and you can't knock it down for anything. Next we have Electrocutioner, which once it starts to work, I can do it. Once I start to bring him up, I would put Electrocutioner in best of the best. Yeah, probably put him here. Right, put him as second best. There is a better boss fight, but which is you'll see later. But second, it's the best for now. But second, he will be second best. And the reason I love him so much is because it really tests your skill, and he's really intimidating. I love his move set, has all the core mechanics. Good move set, good use of your own moves, and it's good at fist fight. You know, really, you feel good when you're fighting him. It's just core fighting boss fights, very good. So it's actually amazing, I think. And I love Electrocutioner's, uh, he's very strong, and he's loads of health. Takes ages to get defeated. But on to the next boss, which is Deathstroke, which uh, I would put. I think I think it's the third best boss fight, obviously behind Electrocutioner. And I love Deathstroke because everyone loves Deathstroke boss fight. They either say Deathstroke or Mr. Freeze is best. I think Deathstroke's better, and it's good. Fist fight. It's actually like proper. You know, uh, you're fighting against your equal. Well, you're a little bit better than Deathstroke, but it's like the best fist fight in the entire series, I guess. And you have to counter his attacks, which they made it feel like you were fighting a good opponent because you have to get the timing right on when he does his like combo attacks. If you don't, he'll just hit you in the face. And he uses like the remote claw, which is good because it's also good because you get it later, so it's like him using his gadget you take from him. Just a very good boss fight. It's amazing. Well, it's in best of the best, so it's better than amazing. But it's like you're fighting, it's like you're fighting Batman, kind of. If that's what it would feel like, closest to that. And obviously, if you didn't know, Electrocution was a joke. It's a joke boss fight, but I'm just gonna leave it in best of the best as a meme. He goes down in one hit, but I'm just gonna leave him there. I don't think it's a bad boss fight because it served its purpose, the Electrocutioner. It's supposed to be funny, they knock him out in one hit, but so I'm just gonna leave him there. Next we have Copperhead, and I think it's a very good boss fight. I think it's not like really easy actually. It's getting the counters all done because you're facing a lot of different types of copperheads because you're poison, and it's pretty good. I would put it in a lot of fun. I'd put it above Salmon Gurney. I think it's a very good boss fight. I don't think it's better. I don't think it's amazing, but it's a lot of fun. So I think it should go there. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's just good, and it's like it's kind of like it's another fist fight boss fight where you're fighting a normal opponent. It's not as good as Deathstroke, clearly, but it's still a good boss fight. Next we have Bane in the you know Gotham Royal Hotel, and this boss fight is I'd put it in best best. I think all Bane boss fights are superb, and they really it's just very good. Another fist fight boss, and Bane's very strong, much better than his Asylum counterpart. That's not very good, and he has very good attacks. He has like the immunity thing you have to get rid of first. You have to get rid of his venom. Then you have to do the actual attacks. It's just a very fun boss. It has two parts where you're in the penthouse first, then you go into the roof, and I really like both parts. The first part you're fighting by yourself. The second part there's enemies. And I really like when you get thrown out onto the roof, you have to use the helicopter view, which is cool. It's only for lasts like a few seconds, but it's cool. Firefly, and Firefly I think is well, it's my favorite boss in the entire series, so it's gonna go best of the best. I think it's just really fun. It's not, it's pretty simple. You just throw glue grenades, use the batarang, but that's what's like, it's just simple. He has good attacks. He has kind of a pattern with the grenades and the flames. Try and dodge them, and the presentation of the boss is really good. The burning bridge, Pioneer's Bridge, is burning, and I love the part where you have to back claw onto him, and he's flying, trying to fly away. It's just a very good boss, and it's not just very good. It's best. It's the best boss for me in the entire series, I think. Uh, well, let's explain. I've tried to explain enough why, but I can't really explain. It's just very fun, and I love doing it. So let's move on to the next boss. This is Bane in the Panopticon in Origins in Blackgate, uh, and I think that this is also a best of the best boss. I think it's better than his first fight because it's an amazing boss. I think with how you have the first part where you're fighting him, you know you're just fighting normally, and the presentation's really good, and it's the first part's like the same as the first Bane boss fight, but there's like different enemies, and I don't know, this is not really important, but I think just Titan users, which I like fighting sorry, not Titan, Venom users. I like fighting them in Origins. They're cool enemies. But the second part of this boss is where it's just amazing, where you get these shock gloves, the permanent shock gloves, and you're just destroying everyone, and you're destroying Bane. It's really fun, and I love the story, whole aspect of it, where you have to kill Bane but resuscitate him, and it's just very fun. It's another like fist fight boss. There's enemies. It's just really good, I think. You can see why Origins is the best boss fights. Uh, then we have TN1 Bane, which I also think is best of the best. So that's like tr four best of the best in a row, and I think it's bottom best of the best. I don't think it's as good as the other Bane boss fights. And the reason I think it's better than Mr. Freeze is because it's not just the same thing every time. I think it's a lot more intense. It's a lot scarier the way he chases you down. He's massive, and he like just if you have detective vision on for too long, he'll get rid of that. He checks all the vents. He he's actually scary like to fight. I think he destroys the vents. He's intimidating, and it's not just the same as Mr. Freeze where you're doing the same attacks. You have to try and do the stealth takedowns. You can control him. You can get more damage if you control him to go into the electrical walls, which is cool because it allows you to get more damage if you're smart with it. It's smart with the attacks you do. So I think it's best of the best as well. Uh, I might consider moving. Maybe I think Bane might be better than Clayface. Is it? No, I'll put Clayface ahead. I think Clayface is a really good boss, so I'll leave him there. Next we have Deadshot from Arkham Origins, and this boss is 1 second. I would put it in amazing. I think it's like I put it bottom amazing because I think it's like such a reinvention or it's such a good way to improve on the city style boss fights because like the you have to focus. It's more of a focused arena. He's the hostage at the end, and I love that his it's smart because he can actually kind of track you from all over the arena with his his ricochet shots and his laser beam, and it's more than just sneak up and boss do this. It requires some more thinking because if you step into that beam, he's going to shoot you. He does a lot of damage. And overall, I think he's just a very good boss. So I'd put it in. It's very fun. Yes, I'd put it in amazing. Actually, it might be. I don't know if it should be amazing. It might be a lot of fun. Uh, put it. It's either bottom amazing or top of a lot of fun. So take that as you will. You can either one. It can go in either one. And some days I might say one of them. The other days I might say uh, amazing. Other days I might say what was it? A lot of fun. So next we have Shiva, and this is her side mission boss fight. The in Origins, and she has two. One in the initiation, uh, challenge map DLC, and one in the side mission. And I put this in pretty good. Probably put it here. I think it's okay. It's just it's a fist fight, but it's kind of boring. There's not too much going on with it. Um, you're just fighting the assassins and martial artists. It's good, but it's just pretty basic boss fight. So I put it in pretty good. Below the Titans and Poison Ivy. Next we have Anarchy in Arkham Origins, which is also a side mission. And I would put Anarchy. Uh, put it. Put it. Mm, it's pretty similar to Shiva, as in it's just like a pretty simple fist fight, boss fight. Uh, and what happens to this boss is, first of all, he sends enemies out. He'll be throwing Molotov cocktails down on you. Then he comes down, and the way it works is he's like loads. He has a lot of health, and the way it works is like if you take out all the enemies, he gets knocked out in like one punch or like one beatdown. So it's like you take out all the enemies, and then you just do a beatdown on him, and he's like gone instantly. So one of the things that annoys me is like his Molotovs when he's throwing them, just like impossible to dodge. Like he has like aimbot with them, so it's kind of annoying. So actually, I think Shiva's better than Anarchy. It's still pretty, it's in a pretty good tier. So I don't think it's bad. I think it's pretty good, but it's a pretty good boss fight. Next we have the Bird from Origins, and I think this is the best. I'm joking. No, it's the worst boss fight in the entire series. Like, oh, this is terrible. He goes down in one beatdown, and he's like, before the boss fight, it's like, ooh, you will be no match for me. Like, he just gets destroyed. And he goes down in one beatdown. It's not a proper boss. One beatdown. That's all it is. He's meant to be Bane's lieutenant, and he is weaker than the normal enemy. He's on par with normal enemies, weaker than the Venom users. And I think in the comics, he actually beats Robin, which is a pretty big feat. And then he just gets degraded to destroyed in uh, Arkham Origins. Then we have Initiation Shiva fight, and I do think this is better than the side mission version. It's just it's fun because as like the arena's cooler, her attacks are cooler. It's just better boss. Like I think in the original, yeah, in the original she used the sword, and then but in this one she uses her fists, and it doesn't tell you what she's going to attack, kind of like New Game Plus, which is fun. Here's the martial arts and the assassins again, but it's just very good. I put in a lot of fun. I'd say I put it above Copperhead because it's simple. It's just like a better version of our other boss fight. When this, you just it's just better. It's a good boss. It's a lot of fun, and it's in a challenge wrap, which is also cool because you can just replay it as much as you want. And yeah, it's good. It's fun. Next, next is Cold Heart, Mr. Freeze, and I'm going to put him in. Let's see, where will I put him? Put him, put him in a lot of fun. And I saw it in a ranking video. Uh, I think it might have been by Clown Puncher, who is a YouTuber, and he posts videos. Some of them are Arkham series. I think that's the video I'm referring to. I think he put it as like the worst boss fight in Arkham Origins, one of the worst boss fights in the series, and I think it's a really good boss fight. You have the first part, which technically isn't a boss because you're like doing the generators, but it's okay. I like that part. But when we get the actual boss fight part, where he's walking around, you're trying to use the icicles and the ice walls. It's really fun because you need to bait him in certain areas, and you need to well, yeah, you need to bait him in certain areas, and he walks around, and you need to use terminal battering. It's just all around a good boss fight. What I really like about it is the end part, which is spoilers. Well, this entire video is a spoiler, but when you have to the entire room gets frozen over, and you have to escape, and you have to actually stop Mr. Freeze from dying. Fair spoilers, removing his health bar. You have to stop Fair Spoiler before his health bar goes down, and then you do a takedown on Fair Spoiler where you destroy him, you knock him out, which is it's very satisfying. So I think it's a lot of fun, a very good boss fight. So it's the final boss of the best DLC in the Arkham series. So that's what makes it one of the best. Next we have we're done with Origins, and Origins has the best boss fights. It has the best the one, two, three, four. It has six best boss fights, including Electrocutioner, but it also has the worst boss fight. But that's just how it is. Next we have Arkham Knight, which kind of dropped on the boss fight quality, and because a lot of them were in the Batmobile, which I don't have a problem with, but they didn't use the Batmobile. Actually, no, I don't know what I'm saying. It's like the actual combat boss fights are pretty boring, and I'll explain why in a second. I can't just say one reason why they're not as good, but I'll explain why. So Arkham Knight's helicopter, first boss fight, and his chemicals. He's not actually in the helicopter. He's being remotely controlled. It's like super easy, but it's okay. It's pretty good. I'd put it here, and basically you're in a Batmobile, and he's just up in the sky, or the helicopter's up in the sky, and you just see the laser. You can shoot like the uh the big shots and the minigun. One of them's the Vulcan gun, one of them is Vulcan gun, the other one is called something else. But anyway, you can shoot the big shots and the minigun at the same time, and it just tanks his health. And like even the tanks that are sent in, they don't really do much, so you can destroy them in a second. But it's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And he has some good attacks where he has to like try and dodge the rockets the Arkham Knight sends down that he's remotely controlling. It's pretty good. Pretty good first boss. Next we have the Scarecrow boss fights in the Scarecrow's Nightmares. Well, there's three of them, but they're all basically the same. There's the Scarecrow boss fights in Arkham Knight in the challenge map kind of DLC thing. First one's on Bleak Island, second one's on Founder, or second one's on Miagani, third one's on Founders. And basically what you do is Scarecrow's like massive, kind of like asylum, and you're in the Batmobile, and you can do the same thing where you just laser him with the Batmobile's weapons. But he has these cool attacks where, well, he has like these tanks, like these corrupted tanks. He sends out hordes of like these kind of demons, and he has these like his own kind of missile. Or I can't remember what exactly what they are. They're like these missiles, but it's it's okay. So I'm also gonna put it in pretty good. I'd actually say it's better than a helicopter, so I'll put it there. And never mind don't mind what I said about the Arkham Knight boss fights being bad. I just had to go in further in depth. But they're just not as good as Origins. But next we have Riddler, and it's it's good. It's actually a pretty good boss fight. I'll put in a lot of fun because you do have the tag team takedown. You have to use Batman and Catwoman, and it's satisfying when you take them out at the end. Then you find the Riddler bots. All around, it's just it's a decent boss fight. I'm gonna put it above Killer Croc. Um, but I wish one of the things that Arkham Knight's boss fights with the tag team boss fights is they're kind of just take out a few enemies, do a tag team takedown. There's not much to them, so I wish there was more to them. But you can't. They're okay. There's not really big faults with it, but that's just how they are. So I put it above Killer Croc from Origins. Next we do Cloudburst. From you you find the Cloudburst and Bleak Island, and I know a lot of people will not agree with this, but I think it is an amazing boss. I don't know. I think it's just pretty fun. Like first of all, when you take out the cobras, a lot of people hate the cobras, and they say they don't pop up that much. It's kind of like the Titans, where they pop up a few times. I think it's pretty fun. I think a lot of people think it's pretty stupid how you're like Bat Tank, Batmobile Stealth, which it's pretty goofy, but it's fun. I like taking out the cobras, having to sneak behind. You can bait them using the shot. You have upgrades, and when you have them all taken out, it's the best part where you have to sneak up. You have to sneak up on all four sides of them, and it's pretty intense, especially when it starts chasing you. It can be kind of annoying when like the camera zooms out, and it makes it a lot harder for some reason. It's just annoying how it can zoom out, but sneaking up and like having to try and like maneuver and get all four sides to shoot them, it's pretty fun. Down at the last part where you just go laser 'em like with all your ammunition. It's a it's a fun boss fight. A lot of people think it's terrible. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's fun. I like playing it. I like doing it. But most people disagree. Maybe it's not amazing. I might put in a lot of fun, but it's in between. I just have fun doing it. Next we have. Oh, didn't mean to put a Brahmavici there. Where is he supposed to go again? I just remember just put him in there. But next we have the excavator, which a lot of people will also probably disagree. But I think this is also an amazing boss fight. It's intense, it's fun. I like, you just, it's really simple. You just need to bait him or bring him to an area, drive through, do that three more times. It's simple, it's fun, it's intense. Actually can be kind of annoying when like the Batmobile can drive kind of weird. So originally I was gonna put it in. I might put in a lot of fun because it is kind of annoying when I do it, and the Batmobile just goes all over the place. But I think I have a lot of fun doing it. Uh, so I'm gonna put it there. Next we have the Arkham Knight, and I'm going to put this. Hmm. We're actually. I think it's a fun boss fight. It could have been a lot more. He could have had like a fist fight, reminiscent of Deathstroke. since he is the Arkham Knight, it's Jason Todd. He's very high, skill. Could have been more, but I think it's fun. It's kind of a stealth area. Take out the enemies, sneak up on them, and I like the parts where you have to sneak up on them because kind of requires you to maneuver around the turrets. Well, the later stages, first stage you just go right on them, but later stages require you have to maneuver under the turrets. And all around, I think it's a fun boss fight, and it's just where did I put it again? Or where did I put it on the list? Oh yeah, I put him in a lot of fun. Uh, yeah, I'd hmm, put him above Mr. Freeze actually. I think it's very good. It's a very good boss, I'd say. So put him there. And anything else to say about it? I don't. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it because it could have been more. I do agree. It should have been like a fist fight or one where he's like it's stealth and he's using his gadgets and his skills since he's also trained in stealth. But that's just the way it is. Next we have Albert King from Arkham Knight. It's a tag team boss with you and with Batman and Robin. I think it's very fun, and obviously the tag team boss fights. I wish there was like they could run better, but I'm going to put it above Killer Croc. Decent boss, nothing wrong with it. You're just doing your you're just doing your thing with Batman and Robin. It's pretty fun doing the tag team takedowns. Actually, I don't think they're bad the tag team boss fights, but they're decent. They're good. So a lot of fun I put them in. Don't think it's as good as Riddler though. I'll just put him there. Next we have Firefly from uh Arkham Knight. And you do it 3 times, but all the bosses are pretty much the same. And I think this is a bad boss because it is so painful from the best boss to go to bad. Like my favorite boss in Arkham Origins is Firefly to go to bad because you're just chasing him in the Batmobile. You just chase him until his jetpack fuel runs out. You jump on him. Do that 2 more times in like 2 more in Founders and Mechanic Island, and it just should have been more. Should have been better. I think it's just annoying how he shoots the flame. Like it's just a bad boss. There's nothing to it. You're just chasing him, shoots flame attacks that are like really annoying, and you just jump on him. So I think it's a bad boss fight. Next we have Nightwing from the the you know Harley Quinn DLC, and I think this is I put it in bad, and it is just so stupid how Harley Quinn is able to just like beat Nightwing. She's able to beat him in an actual fight. It makes no sense how Nightwing is almost on par with Batman, and Batman's able to one-shot Harley Quinn literally every time he fights her. How Nightwing gets beaten by Harley Quinn. I'm actually moving Albert here, so don't mind that. But it's also not even just that how she beats him. It's not even a tough boss fight. You, he's like a normal stun baton enemy or stun baton enemy, however you want to say it. But he's actually weaker in some regards because you do have to do the beatdown more than once. But and you can also use the special takedowns that destroy his health. But the thing is, with normal stun baton enemies, you can't do a beatdown on them. Uh, you can't just stun them and do a beatdown. You have to do the normal jump over, but and hit them attack. But with Nightwing, you can just stun him and beat down. Because if you do a normal stun enemy, you get stunned. But with Nightwing, it goes right through it, so he's actually weaker in some regards than the normal stun enemies, which is embarrassing. Then, like, it's just so bad. It's terrible. The way I'd improve it is Harley's actually getting beaten, and then uh, maybe Nightwing the plants her poison ivy does some. I'm not saying she get beaten by poison ivy, but they become like an obstacle to him that creates a way for poison ivy and Harley to escape. Nightwing should be beating Harley. Like this is not the way it should be. Next is Black Mask from Red Hood's DLC, and uh, it's it's okay, I guess. It's cool how you like it's like a gun versus gun, and but he has a lot of health, and he's gonna be beating down. Usually, what I do is like I just put him in a corner. I'm beating down on him for ages, and even then it takes a while because you're just stunning him, doing beatdown, countering enemies. You're just doing that for a long time. He basically can't do anything because he's in a corner. But what was I gonna say? Even if you do that thing where you dodge the guns, that also takes a lot of time. You're waiting for him to shoot, then you just counter, or you press triangle and you shoot back, or you use the counter button and you shoot back. But I put it. You know what, actually, I'd put it above Shiva. It's an okay boss. I think it's decent. Uh, Actually, maybe I might put it above Scarecrow because I feel like I'd rather do that boss than do the Scarecrow boss from Night. But you know, and also the ending where he gets Black Mask gets thrown out of the the window is like, come on, he's such an the way they handle him in like all the games is so bad. Like I don't mind, but he shouldn't have been done like that. He should have kept him alive. So maybe in future games, he could have been more of a presence. But he just threw him out of a window. Next we have Deathstroke's tank from Arkham Knight, which is just like a worse version of the Arkham Knight, or the Cloudburst, because they're nearly identical in boss, except one's in Miyagani, one's in Bleak Island. But I mean, put it at the bottom are pretty good. The main problem, main problem is that first Deathstroke is in best of the best, and it's like a very amazing fist fight where it's use your skill. This one is just a reskin of the Arkham of the Cloudburst, but it's worse. And uh, you might say, oh, they're very similar. So why is that not an amazing? It's just not as good. I just don't have much fun when I'm doing it, and that's just it. It's just not as good. It's flat out. Next, we have Joker and Harley Quinn from A Matter of Family, and I think this boss fight's actually really good. I think it's like the best version of the tag team takedown. It's also really interesting since there's two of them. You can choose which one you want to take out, and it's cool how you use one of them. You have to like they try and attack you, then the other you have to call the other one in, and you're playing as Batgirl or Robin. Call Robin in for playing as Batgirl, for Batgirl playing as Robin, and they have to like finish them off. It's very interesting. So I'd actually I put it here. I think it's better than Solomon Grundy, and it's just fun and it's interesting. It's just two of them, and also, man, speaking of Solomon Grundy, I only learned like last year. I haven't played Arkham. I just started a save file in Arkham City, but I haven't gotten to Solomon Grundy far yet. Since I only got to the start of, I literally played the start of the save file, and I was trying to do a exploit where you get Bruce to go out of the map. But that's beside the point. But anyway, I found out you can actually counter uh, Solomon Grundy. He like Batman does this thing where like flips over them, which I never do. So next time I get to Solomon Grundy boss, I'm gonna have to try it out. But that's beside the point. Let's get on to the next boss fight, which is Killer Croc from Beneath the Surface in the side mission in Arkham Knight. This is also a tag team boss, like a lot of bosses in Arkham Knight, and I think I would put this, uh, put it, put it above Riddler, but yeah, not above Solomon Grundy, because it's It's good. It's better than Riddler, I'd say. And it's cool being, Nightwing, Batman, and it's cool fighting Killer Croc. Like a guess kind of a fist fight mode. But it's just another tag team, and they're all decent. None of them are really good. They're not bad. They're just good. So put in a lot of fun. Now for the final boss fight or boss fights is the APCs from Arkham Knight, which there are a lot of, and they kind of get repetitive. You're just chasing them with a Batmobile. Use the immobilizer or like or hit into them with the Batmobile. So I'd put them in not very good. Or put them in top very not very good. I mean, it's okay. Uh, when it's okay doing it. It can be kind of like sometimes it can take ages, and there's different tanks that are like escorting it, and sometimes it can be annoying. They're like blocking you in your way. You get to the front of them. One time the APC took ages for some reason. I don't know why. I think it was actually on YouTube. I did it on that playthrough. But I mean, it's just I mean, it's okay. Uh, I mean, actually, one time I was doing it. Actually, this might have been on my playthrough on YouTube as well, where I think I intercepted it and I destroyed it in like one hit because I just rammed it into a wall and I got it like locked in there. But that's what I did. But actually, that is the end of the list. So this is my entire list. Obviously, none of these are actual boss fights. Maybe I might rank them in terms of like not being bosses one day. But this is all of them. Worst boss fight is Bird. I think best is Firefly from Arkham Origins. So I hope you enjoyed. That'll be the end of this video, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.